All right, to 50 episodes. Ready?
Yep.
You ready?
Yes.
You sure?
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Do it.
Boom.
Hello.
Hello, everybody.
Hi, all. We are
Boom, 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 boom.
here with episode 50. Woo!
Mate, can we handshake these days? Who knows?
Yes, we can.
Nah, thank you, man. Honestly, welcome to 50. Welcome to 50. We are, there you go. Woo.
Yay.
We made it.
We're very, very proud. Very happy,
It
very
took
proud
a
to
while
be here.
and, it took a few reboots.
Years and a couple of different iterations of the show.
We've got to say this from the bat. We'll mention it once and then I'll mention it again. Obviously, it's not technically 50 because we've done many a show before this, but
Indeed, we have.
this is the reboot's 50th.
Yes.
You know,
I mean, this is since we've been doing the show in its form in this
place.
specific form, as you can
Yes.
see here with this channel.
Oh, yeah,
it's,
yeah.
That's up to 50, you know. So
And only in this house because there's only been
yes, that's right. We've only done shows in this house,
and then there's been three. There's been the Mark River special and the two Barley specials.
Yeah.
We
Well,
were
those
too
have been the
depressed
special.
to do a Gold Coast.
I know. We wanted to do a Gold Coast special, and maybe one day we will still.
Yeah, we will. We'll get there.
We will, and we will
Let's
do
depress that time.
we'll definitely do a Margaret River special when we go there.
Yeah, we're thinking
next
of going
time.
next month. So hopefully
yeah, we are, actually.
Hopefully we can be like, let's
we need
do
to
it.
look at booking that. But yeah,
Get
when
Mitch on
we
it.
when we do that, then we can definitely do a Margaret River special. But yeah, apart from all the episodes filmed here, it's up to episode 50. I'm very, very proud.
50 eps in,
I'm very proud of the show we have.
only two guests, and
That's right. We've two, but that's more to come. There's more guests to come with.
I did just
with
put out on
regards to
Instagram then actually
bat signal
that we
for
could
guests.
actually, well, we can. I mean, we were supposed
Well,
to have
it
a
was
few people
Corona,
on.
so it's hard to get
we were
guests
supposed
with
to have.
Corona.
We were supposed to have a lecturer on, weren't we? And then
I'm gonna get a beer.
go ahead. Well, do you want to? Okay, you
Well,
can
we'll
have
bring
a
that
beer
up
in the
in a second,
background.
but,
Yeah, because I was going to say because I have one in the background, just a bit of a
Exactly.
a bit of
So, but
wash down the taste.
We've made it to 50, I think. I don't know if either of us really had expected us to achieve this. I definitely know there were moments along the way. We'll get to best and worst, but there were moments along the way where I think both of us were not ready to call it quits per se, but
Yeah, there was a weird.
word in the best
stuff.
place with the podcast. Let's put it that way.
Yeah, no, I mean, but that's to me, that's just any production full stop, I think. And I think to have ups and downs, it just makes the highs better and it also makes
That's right.
the show better.
And I think we've come to a place where we're hosting a great show. We're up to 50.
Oh God, yeah.
We've got the Clips channel as well, if anyone knows, For a Laugh Clips, which is just about to be up to date in the next couple of weeks. We're going to get that up to date. So these new episodes will drop and then you'll have new clips for the new episodes. So you can go and watch those if you don't have time to sit through the whole thing. So I think we're about to have a fully functioning and running buddy podcast that we're going to be pretty proud
Which was
of.
always the plan. I mean, the plan was always 6 seasons in a movie.
It only
in a
took
way.
us
It was
50 episodes to get there.
Yeah, the plan was always to do the podcast alongside our channel as a bit of bonus content. Then we never did. Oh, we kind of did. We kind of didn't.
I think this podcast it's a good example of like how sometimes you do need to like tinker with things in real time. Like you need to just start them, just do them, and then figure out how to make them good as you go. You know, as you go along, as you do more, that's how you figure out how to perfect it.
Well, hopefully we can get to that goal of well, even starting next week or maybe the week after when we're up to date and stuff, we can actually start doing main channel videos and focusing on all the other stuff. And I mean, I've been doing stuff outside of the show, but you know,
We'll get to that later.
yeah, but when I haven't been doing this show, it does feel weird.
It does feel weird. It feels
do
like a
feel
lack
almost
of
like,
creative output.
Yeah, I do feel like I'm always missing out on that.
To be fair, not to be fair, but to be honest, I do actually kind of appreciate that we took a break. Does that sound weird?
It wasn't even that long. It's like
No, it was
3 weeks.
It was a couple week
4
break.
weeks,
But I think that having just a little bit of a time where I'm not really doing much creative things has made me want to do creativity more than ever. So
well, the plan was originally to do 50 and then take a break. But we thought, well, if we don't really want to go out with a bang, we want to start with a bang.
that's exactly a perfect way to put it.
And then just keep going from there. If we ended on a really great episode and people probably were like, well, this is lit. And then we take a month break, So we were just like, if we do 49, we finished it. That ended with a bit of an
interesting ending.
A not great bang.
We'll get to that.
An
It was
emotional
the
bang.
best and worst of the podcast.
Yeah, that's one of them, I'd
But
say.
for now, what we'll definitely say
we're
for
here
sure,
now, so that's what
I think
matters.
what we can say for sure now is that this is a time to celebrate. This is a time to get out the champagne.
Okay, yeah.
Both
okay.
metaphorically and
literally, an old gag
if you
on
will.
an episode from like the 20s or 30s, wherever we're in. We said,
we would always used to say we would get
get
champagne
get
on
a Moet for
a Moet Chandon,
because like we saw on the what was it the Emmys or
a
something.
Mo Yeet.
Yeah, well, like we kept seeing.
Yeah, well, I think it's the Emmys or the Golden Globes or those Hollywood events. They always get Moet as the drink of the evening.
Clearly, Moet clearly is like, all right, we'll pay the most to have our champagne on the table.
It's a sponsor. It's a sponsor.
So-
yeah.
And it worked because here we are. And this is a limited edition bottle, Dan. I didn't know if you picked this up
This
on
is
purpose.
very. It's a nice one. isn't it?
150 anniversary edition. Now, normally I wouldn't drink this. You know me, Dan. I'm a hoarder and I like to collect bottles, but because it's a special occasion,
Well,
as well.
150th anniversary, 50th episode. It's kind of a good match.
just
I think if we ever were gonna do something like that, it's appropriate.
yeah, just to crack this bad boy open. By the way, I didn't think Moet was as expensive as it was. How much did you say this was?
I think it was like $75 or something like that.
That's for a bottle of
That was the
champers.
cheap one. There was one that was like
Oh, I bet.
110. Yeah.
No, I bet. I can't see how many standard drinks it is, but it's probably not that much.
They probably don't want to
But,
tell you. They're like, you don't
Yeah,
get to
it's
know.
like for the amount of money you paid for it, you don't want to know how much you're getting out of it. But I'll tell.
Rich people don't indulge in that sort of drunken behavior.
But this is what gets the party going. All these like parties, like
At the Oscars and all
drink,
that, though.
drink more Moet and cause
That's right.
arguments and beef and like stares.
They want them
and-
to get drunk, and if you get a bit loose, your speech might be a bit, controversial.
We're getting
and
ready to
that's what we
censor
want.
him, like
So maybe that's what we're trying to do with the show. Maybe the show will get a bit controversial with some Moet.
Oh my god! Did you get that?
Yeah, I did.
What the fuck was that?
That was quite hilarious. Brilliant.
You're
Brilliant.
supposed to screw it.
I love it. I love that.
Hang on a minute.
That's
Is this
amazing.
like? Am I missing out on something here? Was that supposed to be?
What, are you accusing me of this?
No. I'm saying like, is just Moet not supposed to? You normally twist the cap.
No, I think it's the same. I think it was, let's put it this way. It was busting to be opened and it was busting to be drank.
I think I just lost a life. Was the camera on me?
Yeah, it was. It was, yeah.
Imagine that thumbnail.
That is
like,
hilarious. Yeah. Ah!
jeez, that scared the shit out of me. Imagine if you were looking over something.
That's brilliant. That is hilarious.
I don't think it's meant to do that.
No, I don't think so. Like I said, it's just it's bursting to be drank. I must say.
I was
begging to be
literally.
drunk.
That's the last thing I was expecting. Holy shit. Okay, well,
That is hilarious.
these are our.
But without
where'd you
further
get these
ado, let's
from?
pour it. Well, I think these are Kath's, or she bought them. It's Prosecco. This is for drinking Prosecco, which is kind of like a wine champagne. I think it's like a mix of wine and champagne.
Okay, like a
So it's a pretty appropriate glass for this kind of drink.
wine and champagne. Isn't that a rosé?
Bro, if I knew, then I would tell you, but I have no fucking idea.
You're not an albino, wino, gyno, rhino that I know.
No, none of the above, frankly.
Well,
Maybe a wino. Not even.
here we are.
We'll pour it. We'll give it a cheers,
We almost died.
and that's our
Almost
celebration.
died, but-
And then we end the show forever.
Yeah, this is the last. This really is the last.
Yeah,
step.
we are going out with a bang. And we said we were starting with a bang, but we lied. All right.
All right. Well,
Cheers to you.
Cheers.
Always a
To 50
pleasure.
episodes.
Absolutely.
That is good.
Cheers to that. No, that's nice. You can tell it's 150 years old.
That's what. No, it's the thing. Of course, it's sat there. For
I'm like,
100 years. It's the
aged to
anniversary.
perfection.
That's probably why it came up to kill me. It's like 150th edition.
Yeah.
Kill your loved ones.
It's been
with a-
waiting to be open for 150
cork.
years.
I used to think, my sister told me when I was a kid, I believed it, that a cork could kill you.
Really? If it
you
like
fried
hit it in
it.
the wrong place.
Well, I'm sure it would hurt.
You're like, how do I open this thing?
I was going to say, is the ceiling all right? Because it's all the way over there. Like,
No, I think the ceiling's okay.
full on That is insane.
That is great.
I did not
Well, you
expect
know,
that.
cheers to you. It really is a pleasure to be hosting this show with you.
Honestly, man, the exact same. It's
I'm
a great thing to have going on.
Very proud to be hosting this with you.
I wish my parents were proud, but
That'll come when we
Celebrate.
start making money from this damn thing.
Unfortunately,
Instead of
that is the
shooting
truth.
money into it.
I'm sorry, but that's the truth.
Now, this has been going on a while, this show, 50 episodes, that's not nothing. And you have a lot of moments in 50 episodes. You have a lot of highs and, a couple of lows. And we won't lie there. But today we wanted to basically, excuse me, that Prosecco's going, or that Moet's hitting me right in the burp chamber.
Sorry, a few lows.
That's right. A couple of
find that button.
a couple of
Let's do this.
a couple of bra moments and a couple of moments, So we're having a good mix, but there's definitely been ups and downs. And so what we wanted to do to commemorate the 50th episode was just go through a bit of the highs and lows of the episodes. I think maybe we should start with the lows.
Okay.
Because then we can
Start
bring
with
it
the
back
lowest,
around with the highs and
I love that. Start
and
with
that'll
the
be
worst.
good. I think probably. Well, do you want to start, or would you like me to? Break open the floodgates.
So I think the lowest of lows. Well, I think there was a weird time between. I've spoken about this before.
Yeah,
but
and I was
think,
going to bring this up.
By the way,
first.
if you want to, I'll put this here in case.
Put it in the middle.
Yeah.
It's a nice little set piece, and then we can. That way, it's in both of our cameras as too. Mow it.
It's
Look
not
at
fake.
you.
I think no. So there was this weird thing in series 2 where I feel like we were just doing it to do it. And I think we were just rocking up just to film a show, and it just felt really weird. And until the reboot of series, well, no, not a reboot, sorry, but before we started series 3, before we did the Bali specials, I think it was just in a really weird place. And we did the Bali specials, then we came back with series 3. We don't even do series anymore, do we? So
no, we just do episodes,
But yeah, it was this would have been around the 20th, 30th mark, or that kind of thing. That was just a really
maybe we'll
weird time.
do seasons for playlists on YouTube, but for all intents and purposes, we basically just do episodes.
We stopped doing that. Yeah,
I got the feeling that I think we were starting out, we were still figuring it out. I think now we're still figuring it out, honestly.
Yeah.
But I think
it's better though.
We have so much more of an idea now of what we want out of the show, what we want to achieve with it, what we want to do on it. I think we have a much more solidified idea of what we want to achieve and what we're here to do. And not just that, but also I think we have a better sense of ourselves as hosts and as creators, what we want to say with this platform. And so I think us in that time was kind of just a little bit winging it and a little bit just, like you said, doing it to do it. I think we knew that this was something we could get to. I just don't think we were here yet. And I think we knew we were trying to get there, or at least for me, I was aspiring to get to this place. I knew we could get there, but there was a sense that we weren't there yet.
I remember that. This is an episode that never aired. I remember we filmed a whole. Do you remember this one?
Oh yes, this is definitely one of
this
the
is weird,
low moments.
Yeah,
of the
this
show.
is an episode we filmed, and we filmed the whole thing. And I don't know if we were.
There's an entire
drinking
unaired
or
episode,
not.
and there's no footage for it. The footage is gone.
I remember.
So
I remember when we finished filming, you specifically went, "Well, we'll delete that."
Well, yeah.
Were we drinking?
I don't think we were drinking. I think
we were.
well, maybe we were drinking, but the
We just
problem
got
wasn't
arguing.
that we were drunk. The problem was I think we were both stressed, and I think we were both.
It's like the problem is ye. No, ye.
Yeah.
No, it's ye.
Exactly. I think we both
firing
just
each other.
got into an argument, and I think we both. It got into one of those arguments where you just dig your heels in and you just kind of argue for the sake of arguing, and you're not going to apologize or back down because you know what I mean. I think we both were like that, and I think it just got heated. And we didn't really resolve it. We kind of resolved it, but not really.
No, I remember it because it took a week, and then we went to go see Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, and we were sat in the Gold Lounge, and I remember I said to you, we should talk.
That's right.
We should
so we
arrive
did.
a little
We
bit
did talk
earlier,
it out after,
and we spoke in the lounge for it, and I was like, look.
But basically, because the whole thing didn't really get resolved in the filming process, we just said we'll scrap that. We're not going to use that episode. So that was tough. That was definitely a low period.
And there was a notorious 49th.
Well, last episode,
yeah,
previous episode.
That was notorious.
I think that was also probably a a buildup of stress as well. You know, I think that was also, and I'll take. I think you'll agree that you would take some blame insofar as like being stressed and letting the stress build up for you. But I would take blame insofar as not necessarily taking, you know, not criticism, but just not reciprocating to the signals that you were sending out. Because I think that you were saying some of those things previously, and I just wasn't really listening, or I wasn't very receptive.
I was talking about my heart issues and stuff, and like
I was interrupting, and I was being a bit, you know, so
and like, you know, and it's that's fine, but like, you know, it's like it
nearly did it again.
It just struck a chord. But here's the thing, though. Here's the thing you understand, and this is a fact. This isn't like me just saying this. Like, we're so close that, like, I even had a fight with, you know, not even a fight, an argument with my best friend Mitchell, who is just the exact same as Dan. Like, we're as close as we are, and like, I know when I have an argument with you or him or a disagreement, we're never not going to be friends. And I feel like whenever I bring something up, or whenever you bring something up, or he does, or I do to him, I'm saying that because I mean it. I don't just say it because I'm just saying it, you know? And I think we need to take that on board, and we both need to listen to each other. But I know for a fact, like I went full steam ahead on Mitch a couple of days ago. I just feel like I knew I could, because we'd never stop being friends. That's the same with you.
Right. Yeah.
So I feel like on the show, when that happened, I knew I could say what I wanted to say after the show and say my feelings, and you could say yours. And we knew that we would never, like, we're not going to.
No, we're not going to
have a falling out.
No, I don't think so.
It's so beyond possibility in a good way, you know.
I think what was good was that it needed to be said. It did end up with a bit of an awkward moment on the pod, you know. Not gonna lie.
It's a good clip.
But it's a decent clip.
It's coming up soon, I guess.
Yeah, well, I know. I'm nearly there with that.
Can't wait for the thumbnail.
That'll be. Yeah, no, we'll have to figure out something fun for that.
More champagne?
Yes, I do. Thank you very much. If you're serving, I don't know how low I am, but I'll take what I can get.
You need a top up. That's what I'm saying.
But no, I think that was a low moment. But I think, again, that was a low moment that came out of stress, and also, by the way, and I know you know this, but you know, my impulse to do all that stuff only came from the anxiety of not wanting dead air and wanting to do a good show and blah, 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 blah. And that stuff is all things that I am continually reckoning with and continually understanding. And one thing that's actually been a really good teacher for me is having gone back and watched a ton of episodes, because I've been doing all the clips the last like 2 weeks or 3 weeks. And watching the clips, I've actually gone like, oh, actually, you know, this show works. Like, it's a nice show. I enjoy the show, you know, like it works. We have a good flow. I think we have a good co-hosting ability, and we know how to throw it to each other when we need to.
Well,
and
our friendship shows, I think.
I think it does. And I think that that's definitely a credit to the show. And I think that it showed me that I need to let that shine a bit more, you know, or sometimes you can let that take the wheel, because it doesn't all need to be managed. And it doesn't all need to be planned, you know.
I feel like, look, I know we probably shouldn't be talking about what other projects are yet, I'm going to say anyway, but you know, I had the same conversation with Aiden on Thursday when we're filming we've got a new Doctor Who podcast.
Oh, I was going to say we need to get Aiden on. I was going to say in the chat, we need to get Aiden on to promote the show.
We should. Yeah, we should. It's a really good show.
And promote our show as well.
You know, I had Wednesday night before, which was really big, which we'll get to.
Yeah.
And then I'd been at the pub. I had like 4 pints with Dad, and I went on the show with Aiden, and Aiden had been drinking a bit, and he said, "Look, my computer completely deleted my notes." By the way, this wraps into what you were saying. By the way,
right.
Don't worry, I'm not going completely off.
All good.
I'm not going completely off subject.
My head was like, is the clips going to need to be
tie
cut?
in?
Yeah.
I can't see the editing. No, but he, you know, we were filming, and like I felt really bad, because he was like, you know, I've been going through the last couple of episodes, and like you just seem to be so chilled out, and I'm constantly trying to make, you know, I'm really freaking out. So I really wish I could be more chill with you. That's why I had a couple of beers before I came on the show, and I was like, jeez.
Did Aiden have a couple of beers?
Yeah, that's why he said that
not
to
like
me.
him. Wow.
He said to me,
I think that's good.
But you know, I had a similar issue with him what I had with you. And by the way, can I just say, but I don't have a lot of issues with what the show me and Aiden got going. Like, it's been going really good. But
you're like, this show's much worse.
Yeah, but we're closer, and it's a more personal show. I'm actually with you.
No, of course.
Me and Aiden are calling through on like pretty much like a FaceTime. Like,
I think the nature of our relationship is that if we have any problems, it's going to show so much more.
oh,
on the show.
110%, 110%.
Whereas when you have a
That's so
show
true.
like reviewing TV shows,
Yes.
you can kind of just
Yeah.
fake it a little bit for the audience. Whereas
Yeah.
this show, it's so raw and so
Yeah.
just real and honest that if there's any
Yeah.
rift, it's very easy to tell.
Well, you hit the nail on the head there. And like, you know, it's called the 50% Dot 2 podcast for reasons because we drift off a lot. And I think this episode, we drifted off so much.
Sometimes that can be
quite
good, though.
personal though. And it was quite
Oh,
nice.
wow. Okay.
But like, I think he kind of beat himself up because he was like, you know, you seem really chill and really into it. I'm like, Aiden,
Yeah.
look, I have this kind of same issue with Dan. I'm like, look, we just got to do it. Just got to do it. We got to do the
Yes.
show. It's better than not. It's better than just saying
And-
it could be
and-
better. We're just going to do it, you know?
And I think that that's something that, you know, I've learned from doing the show. You know, I think that's something
and it's the
similar.
only way you can is by doing 50 episodes. It's
Exactly.
by learning
exactly.
from it. Yeah.
That's the thing. I mean,
Yeah.
I think that I've, you know, a lot better in that department than I used to be.
Yes.
And I
Yeah.
think that's just been from doing it and from, you know, I know we talk about the producer mindset a lot, but I think the producer in me, you know, sees the episodes
producer in
and
me.
I see what works and I go, that's what works. And I try to think, okay, we need more of that. We need more chill, more flow, you know? And I think when we do that, I think it works. You know, I think the show is at our best when we are both aligned in the mindset that we want to tell stories, we want to talk to the audience, and we want to do it in a way that promotes us both and like gives us both the space to talk and comment on each other's stories and just do it in a way that really ends up being for the audience just a nice chat with what eventually I hope will feel like a community, you know, us, but then also the audience, you know, and it'll feel like, you know, I guess it feels like drinking buddies because we drink a lot on the show, but more
Bro,
just
I can't
like
remember one we haven't.
well, almost like a support community, you know, because we're very open about our feelings. We're very open about what we think and what we think about each other,
Well, that's
evidently.
the selling point, I think. Because like
For sure,
everyone
for sure.
that I know watches the show always says we can see the chemistry of your friendship in it.
Mhm.
And I think, but a friendship is not all sunshine and rainbows. It's constantly,
Yes.
why did he do this? This guy, like,
What did I
what's
do?
he-
What did I do?
No, I'm saying, no, I'm
Oh,
saying,
right. I was like, oh my God, I thought you
my
were
acting
calling me
skills.
out. Yeah, it was
No,
good.
sorry.
Good.
No, I'm saying like a relationship is constantly like this cut. Like,
Yes,
what's
of
he-
course.
Hang on a minute.
Of course.
He wouldn't like it if I did that. He would say the same, you know. And I think
Yes, absolutely.
with running a show with your best friend, it's like it is the best, but it's also like, you know, there's also that struggle of having a relationship outside of it, also having a working relationship, and actually making the show work. Which let's just say, like, I say 80% of the time it does work, but then like 20% of the time there is those underlying issues which sometimes
Yes.
come out into the show, you know.
And I think I will say, because I know we've drifted a little bit, but I know we're on best and worst. I will
Yes, yeah,
say
yeah.
my last sort of comment on worst is just that I think sometimes the downfalls as well is sometimes when we get a bit too caught up in the relationship or sort of the personal relationship that we have and less caught up in putting on a show, if that makes sense. You know, I think
That's why we're here,
think-
you know.
I think us talking about our relationship and our thoughts and stuff, I think that's good. I think that's part of the selling point of the show. But I think sometimes when we dived a bit too deep into, oh, I'm mad at you for this and blah, 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 I think sometimes that distracts from what we're trying to achieve,
Yeah.
which is really putting on a show. And obviously we want to find that mix between performing and also being genuine. You know, there's a really
there's that
hard
dynamic,
line.
I think.
There's a very hard line to find between that. And I think
Yeah.
when we do walk that, which I think we have a lot, I think
Yeah.
it works great, you know?
It's that dynamic, and I think, you know, it's a thing that I'm very blessed and lucky to have. I can't thank my blessings enough to have you and Mitch, because, like, you know, you guys are just, I can't express in the words how great you guys are. And without you, I'd be nothing. And thank God you
Well,
like
without
the
the
same
show,
things as
same
me.
as me, you know?
Yeah, well, man, like, thank God you like this, because if I didn't have you to do this, and Dan does so much more behind the scenes than I ever do, and I will admit that. And I think it's amazing what you've done. And look, you had a few public outbursts, which is true. But I think if we hid that would just be bullshit in the audience.
For sure.
And
100%
that's
agree.
not a friendship, because if we're not,
Yeah.
but again, no matter what I say, and I don't mean it's like I can get away with anything, because I can't. I'm saying I know when I bring something up or he does, it's it's justified. We don't
Yes.
bring up the nitpicks.
No.
In our heads, we're like, this little dickhead. Like,
Of
but
course.
we let it slide.
That's normal. I think
so when we say it, we know it's an actual thing that we want to be better about each other.
We bring up things that need to be brought up. And I think we call each other out in the right ways. I think just to sort of slide to the end of this segment, you know, in terms of our best moments, because that's obviously
got some great ones. Yeah.
I think that, you know, our best moments, I've loved the Margaret River. I always loved the Margaret River episode.
I was gonna say that. You were joking. Are you serious?
Yeah, I'm serious. That's one of my favorite episodes.
I was gonna say the Margaret episode.
I obviously, yeah, I was actually thinking about this the other day. I love that we do like specials. You know, I love that we always do an Easter special. We always do a Christmas special. I think we should do a Halloween special every year. You know, I love that we do
Halloween special early on.
Yes, we did. We did. But I don't think we did one last year.
Before your party, I think.
Yes, I'm not.
No, we didn't do one last year.
We did one 2018.
We were in Bali.
I don't think we did.
We were in Bali in the first.
That's right.
Yeah.
That's right. So we did a 2018 Halloween special, not a 2019. I know this.
I'm sorry.
This
Moe.
This Moe just gets
it. Him going.
But we should do a 2020. But I love the specials. I think that's one of my favorite parts of the show. I love that we did a Margaret River special. The Bali episodes I like. I think they could be better, but I think I just like the fact that we do them. Do you know what I mean?
Interesting you said that.
Well, what I mean is I'm just talking specifically the stuff we talked about.
We were the talk of the hotel, to be fair.
That I love that. And that's what I mean. For us, like, I think our holiday was, I love that we did that podcast. I love that we did that. And I love that we have a kind of show that is open enough from both of us that we can say we want to do a special in Bali and we both fully agree. I love that. I love that we have that. And I love that we have those special episodes. I think that'll be great. And I think, you know, as much as I think we both enjoy vlogging, I know we've talked about losing a little bit of interest in that, but I think this is a better medium than ever to be able to look back and say, how did we enjoy that specific time in our life? Or what were we feeling that way? Absolutely. I think that's more of a raw way to look at it. And I love that. I love that. So I love the specials, specifically the Margaret River one's my favorite special.
So crazy.
Also, I was looking through I was renaming the filing for the hard drive of the old episodes. And I noticed the original Christmas special we did.
That was just before you left.
Here we go. There,
that was just before
there.
You left, wasn't it?
Just there. I'm not sure if you can see it in my camera.
That was just before you went to. We filmed. Oh, can you get it in there?
Yeah. Is that in shot? Yeah.
Because you filmed. No, that one there. You filmed. Yes, we filmed that a month before Christmas because you were going.
Because I was going to Mozambique.
Yes, and it was so hot. I remember that day, the sweat, and we were wearing Christmas jumpers.
Let me put it this way: I don't even remember the episode specifically. I don't even know if it's a good episode.
I had a whole family.
But I just love that we do that. I just love the idea that we have a Christmas special. I think that's great.
You're up for the specials, don't you?
I love the specials. The specials, 50th special. It's
no, but the specials do stand out. The Mark Real one was great.
Absolutely.
I do remember when we filmed when we shot the Bali special, the second one, like, we kept pushing it back and then we filmed it on the day we left Bali.
Yes, that's right.
Which was ridiculous because we were filming it. We literally packed up the gear and we had our suitcases pre-packed because we had to leave to catch a flight.
Right, that's right.
Which was ridiculous because we were drinking as well and we were sweating.
Maybe that's why in my head I don't
love that one as much.
Yeah.
The first one was really good.
The first one was great. The first one was very good. I think it's not even that the show was bad. It's just I think it was
that was
the memory of doing it.
It was just a weird time, and you know there was women in the pool, and we had to personally ask them with like,
"Hey guys, you mind if we film?"
Yeah, we literally had to do that, and that was really cool though. But no, the Mark River special. It's so weird you brought that up because I was literally going to say the exact same thing. The Mark River special
is one of my favorite
was so
episodes.
special, and it was just before we got all the new gear. I'm pretty sure I might be wrong.
That's right. It was the last episode. No, it was the last episode.
Yeah, because I'm holding. Because he's holding the. So there's a little photo there.
I think maybe I'm not sure if the actual show was a great show. The Margaret River show.
I think it was pretty good.
I think it was good. I do think it was good. I like the stories we told and everything, but I also love the memory personally of the fact that it was the last show we did with our old mics.
Well, it's a love-hate because I remember when I'm filming that show and then it came out like 2 weeks later, I had a girlfriend at the time. And I remember in the whole special, I'm mentioning her, I'm bringing her up, I'm bringing her up in jokes and stuff.
See, like that's iconic. That's an iconic moment.
2 weeks later, or whatever it was, I'm listening on my AirPods to the show. I'm like,
do you need a top up?
This is tough. Oh yeah, cheers. But I actually remember saying to her, like, look, because she was a, I wouldn't say anymore, but she was a fan of the show. And I remember saying, look, just to let you know, we filmed this episode, and we were still together. So I mentioned you like 5 times.
I love that. That is amazing.
We got to mention all the birds I've had on this show, Dan.
I think that is one of my favorite running gags, and we need to do that more.
There needs to be a tally of how many women I've spoken to.
All the conversations about Conor, talking to this girl. Look, at least you're not a Crystalia and you're not.
What is this, Wednesday's episode?
No, I won't get too topical, but at least you're not. At least it's just talking to the girls. At least it's not like I banged a fucking parade of women. But
no, there's a few.
I think that's to me that's what makes it wholesome. That's what makes it nice, is that you just talk to these girls, and obviously some of them you get lucky with. Some of them it unfortunately doesn't always turn out for the best. I hate to say it.
I just wish I had a tally the amount of times I say to Dan. So I'm talking to a girl because I'm on. That's warranted. He should laugh at me because
I'm not laughing at you. No, I'm just laughing at its place in the show.
It's warranted because, like, with me being single, with the way that Tinder and Bumble works, you do talk to a girl for like a week, and then you're like, absolutely, you live too far away. I don't even like you that much. Let's not talk again. Boom, another girl, sweet, and then very rarely do they work. Like, very rarely. Is that your neighbor?
I have no idea.
Dan's
sounds like someone's talking outside.
That's another great gag.
Very loud.
Dan's
there's gag. Yeah, all my neighbors.
So many great gags.
I love
the producer gag. The
producer, the Moet, which we finally got.
The Moet, the neighbor.
I feel like that came to a conclusion with today's episode. The Moet gag. Although we should have a gag about like the 100th episode. Do you know what I mean? We should be like, we'll smoke weed on the 100th episode or something ridiculous.
Because we don't
like
do that already. I do remember though, speaking of not smoking weed, there is this one episode, and by the way, don't let me forget the one. I'm going to hold my finger up like this so I don't forget what I want to say afterwards.
Yes.
But there was this one episode, I think it was when I just finished my previous unit at TAFE.
Yep.
And I remember we came in here, I had a bottle of whiskey, we sat down, we filmed about 2 hours. We just drank whiskey. We just spoke. And then I remember we walked to the...
I think that's literally the clips episode that I'm working on.
What a beautiful episode.
I love that.
And then we went for a walk to the servo. Oh yeah, we got some more mixer.
Yes. And
we came back. May have done something else, which won't be named.
Yeah, I love that.
And then we filmed... in the same night, another like 2-hour episode. And that was just so beautiful.
That was great.
Just sitting back, we were just reminiscing. Like, to me, the greatest point of the podcast
literally
was down with a glass of whiskey, just
I love that.
shit about life. We literally filmed like 4 hours in one night over 2 episodes, which
the
was
actual
amazing.
Title of that episode is
Reminiscing over whiskey.
And I love that. I love that. And I completely agree. That's one of my favorite parts of the show. I love what we talk about. I love the fact, I'll just say this before you have your point.
No, sorry, I wasn't trying to interrupt you. I'm just saying I can't forget this. Go on, continue.
I also love the fact, and I think, and we will get into like what we want the show to be in a minute. I think we've talked about that a little bit, but we'll condense that. But one of the things I do think I personally want the show to be is I want it to be a place where, and look, obviously, I love women and all that stuff, but I think for boys and for me growing up, I think to be able to have a community or a space online that feels like it's okay to be completely open with emotions
and you hit the nail on the head.
Talk to friends and talk to male friends, especially because, growing up, I always felt very comfortable talking to women about my emotions and my things. But I think, and I'm not saying we're breaking barriers here, but I think one of the things I want this show to be a bit of a shrine to is the fact that, it's okay to talk to be this open with a male friend and to be this friendly and affectionate and loving and open about emotions and about depression and about, if you're feeling down, like it doesn't all have to be this kind of, I feel like we've never done an episode where we're trying to show off and be best and who's the biggest guy.
I didn't care.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Well, I didn't get sad at, Inside Out or whatever, you know what I mean?
She left me, but I'm fine. Her loss. He says for a tear.
No, exactly. I think I love that we're open. And again, obviously, like I said, I know it's like a male centric thing or whatever, but I think what we do for the sort of the idea of toxic masculinity and all that stuff, I think I'm very proud of that is all.
That's a great great point. Honestly, I think that is so relevant to how I feel about the show. And honestly, that's why we do it. That's why we are here. That's why I want to do the show. Honestly, you hit the nail on the head. There's not much more I can add to that, but like, you know, I agree completely what Dan said. And like, you know, it's
what was
that.
your one?
The one. Okay,
Oh.
so I've said this is. I know we have it. We know we have a few gags for the show. Number one I wanted to bring up was on 100. I don't know if you. I want to say you agree to this. I don't think I've ever.
Oh, okay.
I don't know if I've ever gotten your confirmation.
All right,
this.
tell me, what is this?
But yeah, here we go. I always said on 100 we get for our laugh tatted on us somewhere.
That's amazing. I love that.
I thought
I'd
maybe
do
we
that.
get
Yes.
for our laugh. Literally, even like a small for our laugh tattoo.
100%. 100%. I feel like
even if the show doesn't go anywhere, I was going to say to my kids, I did 100 episodes of a podcast.
100%. I feel like if we get to 100 episodes, 100% we should do that because
We'll get there.
I mean, look.
Might
Imagine
take us 2 years.
Look, imagine how,
you know.
Remember how much shit happened in the first 50 episodes. There's all the possibility
Crazy.
the show could fall apart and not
I hope
continue.
not.
No, I hope not as well. But I'm just saying, if we
Shit,
make it to
Dan.
100 episodes, that will be an achievement. And you know what? I think that will merit it a place in both of our lives. You know, I think once we get to 100 episodes, even now, but I mean, once we get to 100 for sure, we will always be able to look back and say, we spent a significant chunk of our lives.
That's what I mean. Even if it never goes anywhere.
The For a Laugh podcast.
Oh, that's dumb. You got your podcast on it. Well, no.
Exactly.
We took.
Even if it's not
years.
successful, we put in, probably collective years of our lives.
But how long? That's a
spent
good
on
point, though,
this.
because how long did we. When was the first episode? That was 2017?
2016 it was.
No.
Yes.
No.
Yes. Yeah.
No,
It was in year 12.
That's pre this.
Pre this show.
Yeah, but when was this show?
This show, I think, was 2018, was when this
That's still a long time.
show. But we've been filming podcasts.
Since 2016.
And we still called it For a Laugh.
It was the For a Laugh.
So we've
logo,
been
to be
filming
fair.
For a Laugh podcasts.
Like 4
Technically
years.
for 4 years, which is
That's a long
amazing.
time.
And that's a huge chunk of our lives.
They're out there
you know?
somewhere. Find them, kids. But yeah.
They are out there.
Honestly, that is literally when if anyone says to me like, you know, that's so dumb. No, like that's literally
No, I love it.
like if I get to a significant point in DJing, I'm 100% gonna get PNDA
I love it.
tag on me. Like,
And
and
that's,
same with like this, you know, same with that. Like,
I think
you
this
know.
has been great. And I think,
Like,
you know
yeah.
what? Best and worst.
Yeah, honestly, there's been more best than worst.
There has been.
110%.
I'm proud to say there has been.
110%. It's been so great. I'm so happy with it.
I am proud.
And I'm fucking glad I did it with you because there's no one else I could do it with. I love everyone else, obviously, but like, you know,
No, me too.
without you, it just would not be a
The
show.
is- No, of
Like,
course.
you know, without you, it wouldn't be anything. And then, like, you know, I can't do the For a Laugh without Daniel 8, and you can do it without me. So we need each other. Like,
That's
you
right.
know,
That
it's
is
like
right.
we need that. And I think I've never been prouder to say I do this.
Nah, me too. Me too. Cheers.
Just wish my parents were.
Now, with all that being said, there is a certain kind of show I think that we
Yeah,
want to
do you
produce.
take this and go to the toilet? I'll be right back.
Yeah, you go.
Sorry, guys.
Now, what we wanted to bring up because, and we've talked in the past about we've taken breaks and blah, blah, blah. And I said to Conor before we filmed, I think that can be boring just saying, oh, we took a break. But I think this time, legitimately, we took a break. And I think that we did do a lot of thinking, I think both of us, about what show we wanted. And obviously we've talked about that today, about what kind of show we want to make. But we just wanted to solidify, I think, to the audience and just have it on the record, like what specifically kind of show we want, why we stopped for a couple of weeks. I mean, look, we've had longer breaks than 3 weeks. So I'm sure the audience, the small audience that we have didn't really notice the break that we took. But we certainly noticed, and I think we both felt the hit of not having creativity. I spoke about how not being creative for a few weeks actually made me more passionate about doing it now. But I think we wanted to talk about like why we stopped and also what we want the show to be. So I'll let you start this off because I know you wanted to bring this up specifically. So I'll let you take the show here.
Yeah. So the reason why we took a break, I should probably start with. Oh no, is that it? Sorry, shit.
That's right.
There's not much left. Sorry.
That's okay.
No, the reason why I took a
Glad we
break
finished
first
it.
off is because you know, we did have that little scuffle at the end of 49, and I was like, you know, we need to take a little bit of a break and talk about where we want to take the show. And I think that was the best one we could do. Again, like I said, our original plan was to do 50 and then go on a break.
Yes.
I think the best thing we could have done is to do 50 and then continue and just take a little break before that. Where I want the show to go is like, I want us to be a place where we can come to, as well as uploading other content and doing other things and discuss that. And like, we'll get more into it, but like, I'm doing DJing, Dan's doing comedy. Well, he wants to do comedy more soon.
That's right.
Obviously, you want to do that.
Well, comedy's closed right now, but
yeah, that's what I was going to say. Like, I can't. So I don't mean that in a rude way, but he's not doing it as much at the moment. But he wants to do that. I'm obviously doing my DJing, and we've got other stuff going on. We obviously do stuff outside this, and I think this is a great common ground to come to as two different creators and just be like, it's what I'm doing. And that's the thing that I admire about us both is that like, we're not both doing comedy or both doing DJing. Like we have different interests outside of this show.
That's right.
Imagine if we were doing the same thing. It'd be the most boringest shit ever.
100%. And I also think that our videos on our YouTube channels have also been significantly different, not in a bad way, but just different in the sense that we clearly have our own styles.
Yes,
of
which is
what
good.
kind of videos we want to make. And I think it shows that we have our own passions of what kind of art we want to make. Because I think where we can always agree, and I think where we always have agreed, and I think where we always will agree, is that we both, as pretentious as it fucking sounds, we both consider ourselves artists. We both want to create. That's why we do this show. That's why we make videos. That's why we do for you DJing and for me stand up. So I think we can always agree on that. But what I not just like, but what I love about us is that they're not the same passions. You don't want to be a comedian and I don't want to be a DJ. We have those different approaches and those different loves. And I think what's nice is we can also come together in agreement. Like if you ever wanted, if you ever wanted a guest DJ spot, for example, I would learn and I would do it. And if I ever wanted like an opener comic, you would do it. Yeah. Like we can
still the same crowd work,
we can come together on the passions we have, and we can both agree on the passions we have, but we still have our own separate passions. And I love that. And I think that's great. And I think that's also what makes this show good, is that we are different personalities and different people that really try to come together and really try to agree on a lot when we are just different people, and that's okay. I think that's great. I think that's good.
Well, that makes it better if we're the same,
Of course.
But it's the same, but it's also different. But then, when it comes to the core of it, I mean, I've been talking to Dan about like, cause he's had a bit more crowd work than I have in the last couple of years, but I've been saying to him, like, comedy and DJing, they're still crowds. You've got to please them. And I hit you up and I'm like, how can I, crowds, like, what's the deal? Like, how do I please them? Like, we're doing very different things, but like, it's been very interesting. It's still its own thing, isn't it? It's like,
it's been very, very interesting to discover the similarities that DJing and comedy has.
Yeah.
Talking to each other. And I think, obviously the more broader you talk, the more similar it seems, but they both have a set, if I'm going to go up on stage,
it's a set, isn't it? Isn't it crazy?
That's what you call it. I call it a set. And the set has like a lineup of the jokes I'm going to tell or the bits I'm going to do.
You light up there, like.
Exactly. Yeah. Like right over there.
By the way, I based right in my, she said.
Your set, yeah.
I based writing it like you did.
There you go.
On
Absolutely.
My life.
You write it on paper, you write it down. That's how you get it.
I literally based it off that.
And so I think realizing the similarities that the two art forms have, I think has been really interesting for us both to talk about, because, look, the way I see it, or the way I perceive it, because I'm more of a comedy guy, comedy has a set, you get up, you perform the set, you want the audience to enjoy it. There's this whole, I don't know if I buy into this, but there is this whole thing about like, a lot of comics say, I think it's like your opening joke should be, or your closing joke should always be your best joke. And your opening joke should always be like either your worst or your second best, or, there's a whole theory about the way you line up your set. But then there's a whole thing about crowd work, and there's a whole thing about that. And I think when I apply that to DJing, when I try to give Conor tips about how to deal with crowds, because that's something obviously I have a bit more experience with than you do.
Yeah.
I come to see actually there's a lot of similarities with DJing. And I go, okay, well, DJing, yes, you've also got a set. And the set also has a certain amount of pacing. That's a big thing with comedy as well, is pacing. Like, is this joke, are you going to do a bit of a longer joke? Are you going to do a bit of a shorter joke? Is that joke going to...
A bigger payoff? Like, yeah.
Is the joke...
Will they stand the
Exactly,
just the growth
yeah.
of it and then the payoff. Yeah.
Is joke A going to lead into joke B more sort of naturally, or is it going to be a bit more of an abrupt change? And that's okay, but are you going to make that transition well? All that stuff I think can be very, very closely applied to DJing, and I love that.
It is
I love
weirdly
the fact
similar,
that
isn't it?
it is very similar.
Whilst being so separate, it's weirdly similar.
I think on the surface they seem like very separate art forms, but like when you dig into it, you realize they are quite similar, and they are quite similar the way that the artists look at it. And I think that that's really brought us together. And yeah, I think that we've been able to bond a lot. And I think that one thing I love about this show, and to get back to, specifically what we want this show to be, I think it's about bringing together our separate interests and our separate passions and being able to make a show together that's good, but then also thrive individually.
Yeah. It's literally that. It's like, take part on the individual part, folks, because like
100%.
we always started this to be that, and like and I think
that's the trouble.
We got a bit, we got a bit mixed in the whole.
Yes,
we just did the show part, and
exactly.
Yeah.
I think that's the trouble with us focusing too much on the show. Is if we focus too much on the show, then we become podcast hosts.
Yeah.
But that's not what either of us want to be.
It's not why we started either.
Exactly. Yeah. Exactly. And what either of us want to be, what we both want to be, is our own individual creators, artists, DJs, comedians, whatever. And then the podcast is where we come together, we co-promote, we do this together. We're able to do a show that's a blending of our two personalities and our two individual artists, careers or presence, profiles. Yeah,
literally. But again, it's the best thing about the show is that like, I'm not trying to preach the seats, but we are just different. I think that's the best. And I say it in therapy a lot. I literally say this in therapy a lot because I'm like, if Dan was on the show with me and he was a DJ and he was doing vlogging just like me and he was doing this and that, it would really just start to tick away at me.
Yes.
The fact that we're doing other stuff, not only do I respect it, I really appreciate it because we are, but also we're our own person, we're doing our own thing, we got to do our own stuff. But we're different, That's great. That's good though. That's really good.
I think probably the best part about it is that if we're talking about the nature of performing, I can give you advice about crowds and about how to do a set and all that stuff. But it doesn't come off as though I'm saying I'm a better DJ than you, because me telling you how to deal with a crowd, I'm still acknowledging that you know more about DJing than I do.
Yeah.
And so there's not like a condescension, there's not me looking down on you and saying, oh, he's just a beginner DJ. I know how to DJ, so I'm going to give him some tips because he's lucky. It's like, I know a little bit about crowd work. Look, I'm still a beginner, but I know more about crowd work than you. Like that's fair to say.
Yeah.
But at the same time, you don't feel like I'm talking down to you on the music side of things, because I'm doing it with the acknowledgement that you know more about DJing the art than I do. And I think it's similar. Like hopefully when we're both doing stand up and DJ, you can be giving me tips. Yeah. And I can take that and I can say, well, he's giving me the tip from the standpoint of a set, a crowd, an audience, but he's doing it from a place where he knows that he's not a better comedian than me. So it's like, I think it's that respectful way of being able to give each other compliments, tips and all that.
Yeah.
While still respecting that we have our own lanes.
Yeah, that's the thing. It's nice to hear advice about crowd work for someone who's not a DJ. Because it's like, I could be like, yo, the crowd could probably, it's like, I don't know much about your field per se, because I don't know how to be a comedian.
That's right.
But hey, maybe the crowd would like it if you say this or that. And next week when you see me perform, which we'll get into, you can be like, hey, maybe next time just like
try this,
do this or that.
Yeah.
And the best thing about having a mate like that is like, it's not, productive criticism is the most amazing thing you can get. It's not a dig. It's not a jab. It's not saying you're shit. It's saying, here's how you do better. And I'm saying this because I love you and I want you to perform better.
And I think it's also...
I've got to come to some of your gigs, by the way. I've never seen Dan.
He's
never seen me perform live.
I know.
Live, so we'll have to...
I think this is the year where we both get to see each other thrive.
Yes, no, I will. And I will 100% come this time.
And both live on stage, but then also in videos. That does need to happen.
Yeah, 100%.
But I think the beauty is that, it's knowing that you're getting this criticism from someone who... is trying to help you and knows more than you, but at the same time respects. Can you get me a beer? respects and appreciates your art and knows that it has its own value outside of theirs, you know? So I think that's the beauty of it. And yeah, honestly, that's ultimately, you know, that is what we want the show to be.
Yeah, man, to another 50, honestly.
Cheers. Cheers to, oh, well, let me open this up.
Unopened drink.
Oh, hey, that was
to 50.
Hey.
C'est la vie. That's true. Excellent.
Now,
what's this?
the next topic I've brought up.
What is it? Come on. What are you laughing at?
All I've written is Dan calls Conor out.
Oh, for fuck's sake.
And the reason I wrote it like that is because I know it pisses you off. And I don't want to piss you off because it's, look.
Before you say that, so we were getting drinks. I had to get my beer, not beer, but I got Clay and Clark from the Bolo and he was like, I have a section tonight. I'm going to call you out. And I was rightfully pissed off.
Yeah,
I was like,
this is what's bad about the show.
Yeah, but I did that. I was like, I remember he told me that before I walked into the Bolo shop and I walked in alone and I got my drinks, came back into the car and I said to him, I said, did you not learn anything from our break? But go on, whatever.
No,
whatever.
This is not a call. No,
I'm ready. I'm ready.
The title of this clip is Dan calls Conor out. But basically what happened, I just wanted to tell you. I don't know if you know this because I didn't tell you. But basically,
what is it? I'm so
the other
scared.
day, it was on Monday. I went to turn my car on to go to work. And I went to turn my car on and it goes.
Yeah, you didn't have any gas.
No, the battery was dead.
Why?
Well, I'll tell you why.
No. What happened?
Because I went to get in the car and it turns out the passenger door was closed but wasn't closed. So the light on the inside of the car had been on all weekend since I picked you up to go to the pub on Saturday.
Did you pick me up?
I did pick you up.
You did. Oh, fuck, he did, didn't he? Oh, no, I'm sorry. Wait, you had to get a whole new battery then?
No.
Oh,
so
good.
the reason I want to say it's not a big deal. Basically,
Did the jump start it?
I was very lucky that Kath had the day off. So for my morning shift, I took her car. And then when I got back, I picked up, my parents have jumper cables. So I went
you jump started it.
And I jump started it and the car was fine. So there was no issue in the long term. But it was so funny. I went to turn it on. I was like, oh, what is going on? You know, and luckily, like I said, luckily Kath was home and she said, just take my car. To be honest, my parents have both been working at home with Corona. Even if Kath wasn't home, I would have been able to take that car. It wouldn't have been an issue either way. But it was just so funny because I left in a hurry and then Kath was like,
I'm so sorry.
Kath texted me and she was like, babe, your passenger door was like, when it's open but not, and she said, and the light was on. So I think you must have just gone to close the door and not, when you don't slam it or you don't properly push it closed.
Oh God, I'm so sorry.
And so the light on the inside just drained the battery.
I do love how this happens quite a lot, by the way, when things happen in our week that are so fucking wild, but we just leave it for the show. You didn't mention any of that. He didn't mention a single thing.
Well, that happened on Monday. That was fucking almost 7 days ago.
Doesn't it? We just experienced weird shit and we're like, well, I won't let on. Fuck.
Yeah, I just thought that would be a funny thing to bring up on the show because it happened to me and I was like,
you can call me out for that.
Yeah, when I realized that, I was like, that's classic Conor. So I'm not pissed off, but I just
so like.
No, actually,
Conor.
I didn't tell them it was you. I just said, or maybe I said I picked up a mate on the weekend. So
you mentioned me.
I didn't throw you under the bus. Maybe, yeah, I know they would have loved it too. But it was a funny thing that happened, so I thought I'd bring it up.
Hilarious.
But,
that's what I love about this show.
There you go.
I found out so much about Dan throughout the week.
See, look, I have learned because instead of being a called him out clip, it turned out to be something you enjoyed.
Yeah. So. Let's do this.
Oh shit! Here we go again.
Thank you, Dan. That was really good.
There you go. I'm glad you
Thank you, man.
That. Now, in regards to...
Oh, shit. Here we go again.
Tell us about TAFE, Conor.
Oh, TAFE. Okay.
And while you start this, I'm going to go to the toilet.
Yeah, so actually, by the way, one of the reasons why we were actually going to do this show 2 weeks ago, weren't we? But then we decided to... Well, actually, sorry. I decided not to film it for 2 weeks because I knew I'd be at TAFE. I go to TAFE and I'm studying carpentry. This was my 6th course. I got 10 to do, so I'm over halfway there now, which is great. But we decided to give it, I shouldn't say we, I really mean we, I literally mean me, sorry. I literally said to Dan, all right, we should not film until I'm done at TAFE because I'm just not going to be in the right headspace, which is true. Because when I got there, I was like,
let's do this.
But this year I'm like, bruh. because like it's really quite difficult there for me. But anyway, I finished yesterday. I was supposed to finish yesterday. I did it for 2 weeks. I got to go in on Monday for about 3 hours tops just to finish a few things off. But I pretty much finished it on time, which is great. We made a little mini door this time. I might bring it on the show to show you guys. But literally, it's been a weird experience. For me, TAFE it's gone a lot better. But back when I started it, I was in a really weird spot of like social anxiety and just like depression and stuff. And especially last year when like after we just speaking of the Mark Rue episode, which we spoke about on this podcast, after the Mark Rue episode, my ex-girlfriend left me. So and then like a week later, I went to TAFE, and my head was all over the place. Like honestly, which is a good and a weird thing because that was the first TAFE course I've completely taken a subject or anything like that, or like a task to do, and just completely ran with it. So to me, tragedy sometimes helps you work, and that can be the clip down, by the way. Tragedy helps make you work. Because she broke up with me, and I said to my TAFE lecturer, I said, I'm so fucking depressed and sad that I'm going to completely knock this unit out of its bloody socks. And I did. But that was like last year. By the way, I just said, Dan, I said the TAFE clip you can do for this is going to be tragedy makes you work harder.
I like that.
But you'd be good to know, Dan. I've been working on a mini door. And
yeah, I've seen the photos actually.
Yeah, so I didn't finish it on Friday, but I have to go in on Monday for a few hours. But after that, I'm completely and utterly finished my 6th unit.
There you go. I'm proud of you, man. Cheers to that.
Not that I ever want to do it, but you know, that's what makes me laugh. I'm like, I'm getting somewhere in life. Oh wait, do you want to hear a fun fact about TAFE? My final point about TAFE.
Go ahead.
Apart from the fact that it's a bit of a hard thing for me to do, and I've done it, and it's great. And I think just we had a bad situation in life. Look, the emphasis is I used to think TAFE was the worst thing ever. I slowly got to a point where I'm like, you just got to do it. You get some good out of it.
For sure.
It's really hard to see that when you're in that mindset, which believe me, I was in.
Oh man, yes.
But you know, you get there in the end. Anyway, my final thing is, you know, we're going to finish my unit on Monday. But here's the thing, though. I just think that I don't necessarily want to do that in life, but I just think, you know, it's that step closer. You know, the amount of life lessons I've learned from going to that place, I can't describe in the words. I'm slowly making a TV show about it because I think it's so interesting about what a bizarre place it is. But you know, I think that the fact that I got on this far is crazy. But I also think that, like, you know, the fact that I'll have that for the rest of my life is cool. And, you know, 100%. It's not what I want to do, but honestly, to go there and do that and have those experiences with those people is amazing. And like, you know, I think about you guys a lot. I think about the show a lot. I think about you guys a lot. I think about you and Mitch and stuff. I'm like, what do I really want to be? But the biggest thing is like, we're so young, you know.
Of course.
To get this under my belt at this age, sure, cool. It was a bit of a waste of a few years, so I'm not going to use it, but hey, I've got it. And but then, like, you know, we are so young. Absolutely. Don't take that for granted, but we are so young. And I think to make the show better, to make it keep going, like just to keep working on it and make it better and stuff, and like just keep going and stuff, like it'd be amazing, you know. But yeah, like just to say about TAFE, like, yeah, you know, we weren't going to film for 2 weeks extra because of me saying that I didn't want to do it because of
TAFE
and stuff. Yeah. And I do have to go back on Monday, but it's not a big issue. But you know,
it's not as much of a stress as all
no, because I'm 95% done, which is lit, and I'm pretty proud of myself because, like, you know, I went through 2 horrendous hangovers. One we'll talk about.
We'll talk about that next.
The one previous is the one the eye, you know, the eye.
Oh yeah,
that night. Yeah. Dan doesn't like to talk about that night, but the other one, you know.
Oh shit! Here we go again.
Yeah, unfortunately that is true. But
hey.
Look, my final thing to say about TAFE is when you have something you don't want to do and we're doing something like that, I think the most important thing is to remember where you come from, to keep going. I just think just work through it. The end goal, to get my card, I'll be very proud about.
Yes.
To be a fully qualified carpenter is something pretty fucking cool to say.
Yes.
So the rest of my life I'll have that to my name. It's a crazy, shitty, wild experience. I'm writing a TV show about it. Either way.
I actually do think I agree with you. I think it's a good thing to have. I also think that you being able to come to a place where you can even admit that is a lot of growth. I think that's a lot of maturity.
What, I mean, it's good for me, or
yes, admitting that it's well, both, but admitting that it's good to have it, because I know there was a time, and you will admit
But
this.
I'll never use it just quietly ever.
Well, and that's true. But you know, I have a similar thing with my job as a social worker. It's not something I want to do for.
I have all this experience. We use it.
I have learned so much.
Yeah, I will never use it.
The thing is, you won't use
it's experience.
you won't use it per se, but you learn life skills.
Yes.
You learn life
100%.
skills. And I think the ability of you to actually admit that you've learned a lot about life.
It's the life skills. You're so right. I haven't learned much about carpentry. I've learned a lot about people.
100%.
I get a new class
100%.
each time. Most of the time, I get
And
a
also
couple
your
of people I
clients
know.
too.
Oh, I've had 150 odd clients, and I've met.
You learn a lot from that.
I've met so many people. My lecturers, what I love about my lecturers, they really like me, and I think that's really cool. And my lecturer, like, he's so close to me. Like, I really appreciate him. Like, I probably shouldn't say this on the podcast, but oh well. I feel really bad, but he even like I don't mean this in a bad way, but like we're even talking this week about his he mentioned to me like a few marital problems he had, and I said to him, I didn't say actually.
Oh, okay,
I wanted to say to him, but I never said it. But I thought to myself, I was like, he can say this to me.
Yeah.
He can say this to me, and I'm like, I want to say, man, thank you, because he's been so good, by the way, about my mental health. He accepts it. He's accepted me for who I am.
Sometimes it means a lot for people to confide in you.
Oh God, that guy I always talk about.
Yeah.
Won't say his name, we'll see, but but then we were talking the other day, and he briefly mentioned some marriages he had, and I was like, the fact that he saw that I was so open about my mental health,
your life, your mental health,
he could open up to his
about his marriage. Yeah, I mean that's
and
amazing.
I was like, shit, man. And it's all about life, and literally yesterday I went, and it was the last time in my class, and I was like, it's 20 odd boys, and I'm like, you're all twats, but I really like you. I respect you. I literally yesterday I was looking at my I was doing door frames, looking at my door frame, and it was a bit fucky, and a guy came over, and one of the lecturers was like, this is a bit all over the place. I was like, yeah, we call that a fundamental hazard, which is a line by Saul Goodman.
Yeah, okay, I love
and
that.
I know the guy didn't get it with Saul Goodman, but he had a fat laugh, and I was like, I only just think to myself, you would never have said that 2 years ago.
I love that.
You never would have been ballsy enough to be like, this is shit. I'm going to crack a joke at my expense.
Yeah.
But he wasn't laughing at me. He was laughing at the fact that I was like, look,
that you were able to joke
we're
about
learning.
That's right.
And it's shit. But look, my thing isn't shit, but it's not great. It's not terrible, but it's not great.
Yeah.
But he helped me a lot. He literally helped me so much that day. He literally did a lot of shit for me to help me. So he wasn't laughing at my expense, but I think he just appreciated, and I also appreciate about myself that I could say
that you could make that joke. Yeah.
Do you know what? This is a fundamental hazard. We are here. It's not great, but anyway, that's what I got to say about TAFE. But
I love that.
That's why we're back now, because it took a while for us to get here, and I was like, we should probably do the show after TAFE and stuff, and
And I will say, I don't know how much merit this has, but the fact that you're able to just even admit that about what you learned from TAFE, I think that's a huge growth for you personally.
Thank you.
And I love to see that, and I think it's ultimately has been helpful, and I think it's great. That you've done it.
Literally, one last thing, I said in therapy last week, I was like, you see how much we've grown from that? Because she was the one person who had to hear me vent about TAFE every single 3-4 months. I was like, I have to go.
It is her job.
I have to go this, and I have to do that, and but for the fact that I went last week, and I was like, I got TAFE on. I've been there for a week. It's fine. And she was like, the fact that you've grown that much, and that you can just say it's fine. Because we were used to talk about it 2 months in advance, and be like, it's coming up.
Yeah,
I hate this.
Yeah.
The fact that we could just literally say, look, I'm in it. happening right now. It's fine. You know, I think it's amazing. So yeah. But yeah, thank you though. But thank you to Let Me Vent about that. It's very therapeutic. That. Like it's a therapeutic show, you know, but yeah.
Congratulations.
Well, congratulate me on Monday when I finally passed the unit because I literally got like 3 hours tops at TAFE and then I'll finish my unit. But yeah, gone.
Well, good luck. Good luck. Now, we talked about before the show how we were going to transition to this topic. We said, you know, one of the ways you deal with TAFE is by drinking a lot. And
this is insane.
You know, frankly, we do drink a lot. And I did make a comment in the chat about, you know, who does that? Alcoholics.
I'm so interested to see your point on this.
Maybe that's true. But we're going to take it on the light perspective at the start. We're just going to say, you know what? We had a fucking wild night on Wednesday, which was a couple of days ago.
What, 3 days ago?
It was recently. And a wild night on a Wednesday night. I don't know how to even describe it. Do you want to describe? How would you describe it?
Well, and before that, I'm very interested to see how you feel about this because we haven't spoke since then. But
okay,
the setup was look, before coronavirus, me and Dan would usually meet up for, remember this, kids, maybe 2 to 3 pints. If that. We would normally have like 2 to 3 pints and we would normally just chat about
after work beers. And,
it was normally like after work. We were quite busy. So we're just like, we'll have a few pints and we'll go our own ways. Like, you know, yeah, go on. Yeah.
No, I think that's probably the right amount.
No.
To have on a Wednesday.
Well, look, I agree and disagree.
Yeah, no,
because it was such a funny night.
And I do as well because
of course Mitch fucks it up. Because of course Mitch comes in and completely doinks it.
Because I loved Wednesday night. No, don't get me wrong, I did love Wednesday night, the one we just had. But I do think if we're going to do it regularly, I mean, I loved it as a one-off. Let me put it that way. Can I put it that way? I loved what we did this way. And we should just tell you about what we did Wednesday night. But I will just say before we tell you that I loved it as a one-off, I wouldn't love to do that every single Wednesday night though.
Interesting.
That's my thoughts. I mean, what do you think?
I mean, look, okay. So me and Dan. I mean, look,
maybe we could do that, but just if we got used to it, that would be okay.
No, but I feel like it got a bit out of control.
Yes.
Okay, I agree, and I will say that.
Yes.
It got a bit out of control, but me and Dan were normally out for Wednesday drinks, like pints, and then obviously Corona came around, and then the last couple of like Wednesdays we've been meeting out for drinks. And then we met Mitchell out, good friend of ours, my best friend, good friend of Dan's. Met out for a night out. Good old Mitch. We met at a bar, a couple of like maybe like 20, 15 minutes away from where we are right now.
Yeah, not immediately local, but like fairly local.
Yeah, like not far from home at all. But then like I had
this was a Wednesday after work, by the way.
Wednesday after work. So I was at TAFE. You guys, Mitchell was studying for exams. Dan was at work.
Yes.
So that's makes me laugh. We were all doing very different
all busy.
things.
But we were all busy.
We were all busy. That's the thing you should all, because we were all up at, I was up at 7.
Yes, we were all busy that day and we all had to be busy the next day.
So we weren't just slacking all day and slacking the day after. We had to be something, which makes it kind of fun, by the way, because you're like,
I agree.
In the night, you're like, yeah, fuck tomorrow. And then you wake up and you're like, well, fuck me. I feel like shit.
You're like, fuck yesterday.
literally. Like, but we met up and we went to this pub and I'm trying to call you out.
Go ahead.
I had 7 beers. Mitch had 7 beers. Dan had 6. Which is okay.
6.5, by the way. Okay, I did have half of that last beer.
And Dan was like, I'm not finishing it. Because they were kicking us out. It's like 10:30.
Do you know why I wasn't going to finish it? Because I didn't want to yak. And I knew that I would. And I knew my limits. Thank you very much.
Yeah. Well, you know, it was like 10:30 and they were kicking us out. Walked to the train station, there's a pub still open. So I said, "Oi, boys." As a joke, by the way. I don't know if you know this. As a joke, I was like...
Did you say that as a joke?
As a joke. I swear on my life, I was like, "Oi, boys, surely another 2 pints." And Mitch and Dan went...
Yes.
Which blew my mind. I was like, wait, are you serious?
We did. Yeah, we did.
Go on, get the first round. And I was like,
we did.
Yeah, all right.
Now, how many did you say we had at the first time? Because the first time we had...
I had 8. So at the end of the night, I had 10 pints.
Yes, 8. Yes,
and you had
right.
9.
That's right. Yes. 9.5.
Okay, fine. I had 8. So at that point, we sank a fat 9th pint. And I remember, by the way, I said to my dad the next day, I was like, when you guys went off to go, you went to the toilet. Mitch went to the toilet. You went to get another drink. These guys called me over. I was like, this guy and
really?
two girls. Makes me laugh. It's like you were talking to them too. It's what I mean. It's what I mean. And Mitch, they called us all over. He called me over and he said, "Listen, do you have breakfast in the morning?" I said, "No, not really." I said, "Because I'm a TAFE student, you know, I can't really afford multiple meals." And I said to them, "Well, I normally have is Blinner." And I said, "What's Blinner?" I said, "Breakfast, lunch, and dinner." And they couldn't stop laughing. And then
It is funny.
I didn't come up with it just quietly. I saw it on a TV show called Fresh Meat.
It is funny.
But they kept laughing, and then you guys came out, and we all Mitchell spoke to the guy for like an hour. We were there for like an hour, and I got another drink. We watched the train station. We were like, we're gonna get a train. We're getting an
remember
Uber.
talking to people, but I don't remember what was said.
I said to Dad, he's like, so what'd you say for an hour? I was like, don't know.
No idea.
Could not have told you what I said. I could not tell you.
That's the thing. Maybe I said something just as funny as that, but am I gonna remember it? Fuck no.
That's the only thing I remember. And then I remember like next day I checked my phone. I'm like, oh yeah, I did take that cool picture of Mitch and Dan. And then you sent through a whole load of photos.
Oh my God, I took way too many photos. I did that thing when I'm drunk where I just...
yeah, he took like 50 photos because I said, can't I get the photos? And he's like, sent 50. And I'm like,
bro, I took like 150.
They're pretty much the exact same.
Yeah, they are. It's
like
just...
one frame difference. Maybe my shoulder moved a millimeter.
Yeah, exactly.
And you could check the difference.
Exactly.
But he sent all these photos and I was like, oh my God. What made me laugh though is like, I don't remember getting the photos taken. I don't remember the Uber. And then in the morning, I woke up and Mum's like, Conor, you're late for TAFE. And
I don't remember the Uber either.
You know that squid meme, like the
yeah, exactly.
Like the eyes.
Eyes closed, eyes open. Yeah,
and I was like, what do you mean I'm late? I was like, surely my alarm would have gone off. Checks my phone, completely dead. Did not put it in. And I was like, I can't go to TAFE without an empty phone. So I checked my phone. I was late for TAFE. But
of course, that's right. You do need, yeah, that's right.
But then the first thing that popped up on my phone is like, did you get home safe? And I was like, didn't you? In my mind, this mustn't have happened. Because I don't remember Mitchell getting dropped off. But in my mind, you went to my house and walked me to my house and then got on the Uber and went home.
I think that happened. I don't know.
Because I don't remember.
Hold on, let me check the Uber. Normally the Uber shows the location.
Yeah, because I don't remember Mitchell leaving. I don't remember Dan leaving.
It's a wild night.
All I remember is going to my garden and going,
ugh. Oh, look at this. By the way, just a quick brief shout out. Aiden just sent us a message. Congrats on 50. So shout out to Aiden Green. Sweet guy. We'll have him on the pod soon. We love him. But yeah, no. I'm checking my Uber now to find the location of, because I think you're right. When I sent that message, I think it was because, well, I don't know. I mean, would I have sent that message if I did drop you off?
I don't remember you. I don't remember you. In my head, you were there.
Yes. No. Okay. The location is here. The Uber definitely dropped you off first. And then came back and dropped me off.
Thank you.
But I must have got home and messaged you.
No, I don't know. It was in the morning.
And been like, oh no, it was in the morning. Sorry, you're right. It was in the morning. I messaged and said, "Did you get home okay?" And the reason I messaged that is because I didn't remember that I fucking dropped you off.
You're so lucky because it was your Uber. Because literally a minute 45 seconds later, I walked out the Uber and went. And I was sick, like 6 times maybe.
Well, see, okay, you did bring up, I want to address the controversy of me not drinking
for God's sake.
Pint for pint with the boys.
Yeah, that's true.
Basically, the last 2 weeks did have an incident. Yeah, a few incidents. I did. I'll admit it. There was a pub we went to, a local, unfortunately, and I did throw up in the toilet and also threw up a little bit outside the toilet and also smashed a glass inside the toilet. I really fucked up. Okay, I will fully admit that. I think, no, I will not make excuses. I fucked up. Partly it was because, the pints have been shut. I don't think I was used to tap beer as much, but it's my fault. I fucked up. And so I felt really bad about that. And then what was the other thing that happened? I feel like there was another thing.
You were sick at the other pub the
other night. That's right. That was a few weeks ago though. That was
my zip up.
That was a few weeks ago, but I still felt
Mitch never.
I still felt embarrassed about it.
Mitch is such a one-up. He never forgets anything. Like
which, by the way, okay, they are different. They are very different situations. The local pub that I threw up at, I involuntarily, like, you know, a little bit on the floor, a little bit in the toilet, and I broke the glass. This other pub that I threw up at, I went to the toilet. I was like Gus Fring. I laid out a little fucking towel. I got on my knees. I threw up. It was all planned. It was all perfect. You know, it wasn't messy the first time. So I don't really feel bad about the first time, but I felt embarrassed, if that makes sense. And so, I really didn't want to throw up on Wednesday. And that's the only reason that I refused to scull my drink, because basically we were getting kicked out of the pub.
Sorry, was I?
And I had
the whole time.
Sorry? Oh, I don't know. Whoops.
Checking my phone. Sorry.
I basically had a pint to finish, and the bouncer was kicking us out. And I just said to myself, if I scull this pint, I'm not gonna keep it down. You know,
you should have just downed it. Nah, look, to be fair, me and Mitch, look, I reaped the percussions because like we
well,
downed
exactly.
it,
And that's why I didn't want to down it, because I was like, if I down this, honestly, if I down this, then I'm also going to be up in this. Let me just put it that way.
Bro, let's just say like, you know, literally no, but we were walking to the train station and as a joke, I mean this as a joke, I was like, we should go to this pub and have another 2 pints to make it 10, Mitchell.
And both of us were like, yeah, go on.
You literally both.
Yes.
I did not believe it.
Yeah. I was keen.
I remember just it was like literally, there's nothing like waking up on a Thursday.
I think the other
the guy and like literally the hangover, I'm literally Brad like, what the hell? Like, dude, and
God, what did we do last night?
I know it's so gross, but like, I mean, I'm sorry, this is so gross, but like, you know, when you're sick the next day, like,
oh, it's all day you have it in your mouth.
I know this is really gross. I'm sorry, but like when I would do this and like just do that, like I could just
rub your nose.
I could just taste vomit.
Ugh.
So gross.
Well, it's a bit like a less gross example, still kind of gross, is if you smoke a lot in an evening. Or let's say when we've smoked cigars,
you
and then the next day you taste it in your mouth,
just
like all day.
Just a
you
yak.
taste it.
And I literally, the next day I went and had like 4 pints.
I think the biggest,
the dog, you know.
I think the biggest issue that we had with it, or not issue, but I think the biggest thing that we should talk about that is that that is 10 pints.
That's ridiculous. Well, nine for you, but
yeah, and that is on a
like, no,
and that is. That's how we did it. We basically said, let's go, and we fucked it. But 10 pints is a lot. And that's a lot for a Wednesday. And the fact that we can do that and still function the next day, I know, like you said, half function, obviously not at full capacity, but is that a problem? I mean,
no, but I literally,
do we have a problem? Like,
I texted my, I have a guy who I call every week now to talk about mental health and stuff.
What is this, BetterHelp?
No, he works at TAFE.
Oh, okay.
He works for like apprentices only. I texted him, I was like, I walked in, I was like half an hour late, and I was like, can I talk to you? Because I'm such a fucking dog. He's like, oh, hey, Conor, what's up? And I'm like,
Winslow was right.
I was like, you're a dog.
I'm a dog.
Filthy dog. Bro, I ran for like half, poor guy. It's like, and this and that. And I'm like, I said, all right. It's like, what kind of man has 10 pints on a Wednesday? And I said, I yacked him my guy. Bless him. Like, he's a cool guy. Like, he was laughing. He was like, all right, like, it's fun.
On one hand, I'm proud of that we could do it. And look, you know that if we weren't getting kicked out, if we had time, I would have been able to handle 10 pints. And I'm sure you would as well.
You having a good time? Give me another shot.
That's what I say. I'm like, come on, give me
I don't know, Dan. I don't know.
Oh, you know what? But the point is, are we alcoholics?
Yes.
Sorry, Timmy. Look, I think that, you know, I got literally a few messages in the morning. They're like, who has 10 pints on a Wednesday? And I agree with them. That's why I seeked therapy. I literally seeked therapy. Yeah. I said to him, can you call me? Because I am off the chops.
Look, Kath was definitely... I was in the doghouse. Let me put it that way.
I don't.
Well, also, actually,
I don't blame her because we were all fucking. We were all animals and man that night.
I don't think she was that pissed that I had the night out I mean, she was pissed about that, but I think she was more pissed because when I got home, I turned the light on, like the bedroom light. I just turned it on and then went to bed. So she had to like get up, turn off the light, and I left my phone in the downstairs bathroom.
But just like
so in the morning when my alarm went off, that one over there. So when my alarm went off the next morning at 6:20 a.m., she had to get up and come downstairs and turn my alarm off.
Yeah, but answer me this though. Do you remember coming to the house? I don't remember a single
I ordered
thing.
McDonald's and I ate McDonald's.
Did you?
Yes.
Did you?
I had leftovers in the morning.
You ordered Uber Eats?
I ate half and then I had the next half the next day.
Did you really?
Yes. And I don't remember it. I mean, I remembered it enough that in the morning when I saw it, I was like, oh, my leftovers. But like,
I remember the Uber home and just being like, do not be sick. Do not be sick. Do not be sick.
Well, I'm glad you thought that.
And I remember just being like this against like the windshield and just being like,
I don't remember the Uber home at all.
watching the trees go by, and I was like, I remember.
Well,
just
that's the
looking
thing.
up
I'm
being
not
like,
sure.
Where am I? Like,
Maybe I got Uber Eats. Maybe I got the Uber to drive me to McDonald's. I have no fucking idea.
I mean, I love it. But like, you know, I said to Dad, I was like, look, I said to the guys, I'm like, I love it. I love a good piss up. Maybe next time dial it back a little bit.
I 100% agree.
Because like,
I 100%
I haven't
agree.
been sick. I haven't been sick from alcohol for a year.
I think it was a fun experience to do, and I'm glad we did it. I'm glad we did it once.
Maybe just dial it back. Maybe
And I think, to be
7,
honest,
8 pints,
I think what's perfect is that we did it by accident. I think that's the perfect part about it. We didn't mean to.
We never planned to have this much.
Exactly.
Literally,
and so,
yeah.
but I do think if we're going to do it again, let's say if it's the three of us, we say, okay, we can't do rounds, because if we do rounds, then we have to do a round each, then we get to 9 pints, and that's too much. So
I like rounds.
not whatever. No, I like rounds too.
No,
but
if
I
it
like
ends
rounds too. But I'm just saying 9 fucking.
No, but if it ends on, say, if it ends on me, we say, all right.
So we
next
do
week,
6,
next
and then
week we start with you.
Or maybe we say we do 6 pints, which is a round for you, a round for me, and then the third person
do you know
gets
what?
the Uber home.
I reckon
I feel like that's fair.
I reckon the first club we went to, which I won't name, I reckon leaving there we were fine. I think it was just those last 2 pints that really.
I do agree.
You know, we were there for about an hour and a half.
Yeah.
I think
that was where we went wrong.
I do not remember next to a single word I said to anyone.
Well, where we were probably only closes at like 10:30.
No, they finished at 12. I asked them. I remember I went in and, I was doing a bit of a nay. I remember I went up to that girl at varsity and I was like, oh
yeah, you did.
So what time did you guys finish? Like, it was so fun.
You did do that. That was hilarious.
I did it to a group of people I saw at Sovereign. I was like, oh.
Yeah,
I was like, hey guys, what are you doing tonight? And I literally, and then when I went outside and I saw these guys and they invited me over. You and me specifically, because Mitch was talking to the guy. Like, there was 2 guys and 1 girl.
Yes.
Sorry, 2 women and 1 guy. Mitch was talking to the guy. We spoke for 2 women for an hour. Can you tell me a single word you said? No.
0.
Literally, I could not tell you a single word I said to those people. We were there for about an hour.
No.
Maybe a little less, maybe 45 minutes, but nothing less than 45 minutes. We were there for 45 minutes to an hour. Can you tell me a single word you said to them?
No.
All I can think of
Your Honor? No.
Only thing I can say is I made that joke about Blinner. There on out. I remember walking out the toilet and someone making a gay joke between me and Mitch. Was that you?
I don't know.
There was a group of people and they were like, oh,
Doesn't
you
sound
two
like
are
me.
gay. And I was like, excuse me, mate. Nah, I do remember you laughing. So I think maybe you were like, I think you were talking to a group and you were like, oh, these 2 guys coming out of the toilet together. That's not a coincidence. And I was like, fair enough. Like,
bro, honestly, I think, again, like I said, I'm glad we did it once, but I don't think we should. And I'm not even necessarily saying we should never do it again, but we shouldn't do that regularly. Let me just put it that way. That shouldn't be an every Wednesday.
no, we shouldn't. You shouldn't. I didn't know. I have not been sick for about a year. So I think I said
we should do, this local is open.
Yes, we should do that.
We should do that. We should get the Love Your Local fucking $5 pints. That's a fucking.
When did that
good
open
idea.
though? I don't remember opening.
Opened like last week. I don't remember it opening.
Yeah,
My mate who works there, he told me
I was gonna
about
say,
it.
didn't say much.
But but yeah, that's the Wednesday night. Are we alcoholics? Yes. Are we gonna change?
No, of course not.
Are we gonna do our best? Now, we got 2 more topics. This last one is very short, so let's get on to the DJing.
Oh fuck!
What have you done?
Go on. Sorry.
Basically, Conor wanted to bring up, and I'm curious to hear about your DJing. I want to hear an update. I want to hear what's going on with Splashfest. What's going on with DJ Panda? What's happening? Tell me. Give us the details. Give us the updates.
Unfortunately, so my whole DJing started off with Splashfest, but it's not that.
Splashfest might have to wait a minute.
For me, yeah, Splash is gonna have to wait a minute because, like, Johnny hasn't really arranged anything for a year, and I'm pretty sure Splash isn't until like October. But I finished my set at least. I finished that last Sunday, which by the way, I always have trouble with this bottle opener.
I can help you out if you want.
Hang on. Fucking. There you go.
There he goes.
Thanks, kids.
Carry on.
I had like 4 months where I was just like working on this set list, and I was like, I'm just gonna make it as good as I can. And look, the whole of that first month was pretty much just trying to get my head around how to even DJ and make it sound good, like work with BPMs and stuff and all that shit. But yeah, I finished it on Sunday, which is great. I performed for the first time next Saturday.
Yeah, okay.
At I think it's 8 till 9:20, which is pretty cool.
Love it.
That's gonna be my sister's housewarming party. This is my first ever gig, which is really lit. It's the first time I've ever played it in front of people because I haven't actually even had a chance to play in front of people, which is sad and good.
So you'll finally debut the DJ skills.
Yeah, it's literally it's like my debut. I mean, Johnny's heard maybe the first 30 minutes, but it's an hour and 20 minutes. Like,
that's solid, man. That's solid. I love that.
Yeah, thank you very much. And look, I do feel like a bit of a simp, like hitting up every party left, right, and center, saying I could DJ and I will if you want me to. Not charging a single dime. Yeah, literally.
I won't ask for money.
Not charging a dime. And I'm like, look, I feel like I could put on some good entertainment for an hour and a half, like hour and 20. Like, I feel like I could do that. Like,
I love that. Sell yourself, man. Yeah.
It's good entertainment for free, And look, my sister, that's why she said yes, pretty much. But like, I think it's going really well. I don't know when Splash is. I think Splash is, and that's how, what blows my mind is how it started, because it was originally just supposed to be me getting this deck for Splash. But I was like, I fell in love with DJing so much more than I thought I would. And also I'm like, I pay all this money for this deck. I'm like, well, fucking, I'm going to use it. But most importantly, I fell in love with it so much more than I thought I would.
Yeah.
I literally thought I'd use it maybe once. But now I've got like 4 parties.
Now you're like, this is a legitimate thing I want to do.
100%. Like a side career, 100%.
Well, it's a bit like, me having done stand-up, I do it and I go, well, I did like it all the times I've done it. But the more I think about it, the more I look back on it, I go, fuck me, that's just something I want to do. I just love that. I just love it.
You fall in love with the art.
Of course you fall in love with it. Yeah, you think it's amazing.
Just been studying, there's so much behind the scenes, like finishing the set. I just want to bang my head against the wall a lot of times because it's like so confusing. And then like,
that's great to hear.
But I've been watching interviews.
I mean, it's great to hear that I think it's great that you're going through the process.
Oh God, yeah. Like, my DJ idol, Fatboy Slim, I've been studying him the most just because like the guy makes an hour and 10 minute set a week. He's been doing
Jesus,
because he's in Brighton, so he's in the UK. So he's been doing I think this is like the 13th one in a row. It's like an hour and 10 sets a week. He just puts them on YouTube. He's like, this is my lockdown playlist.
Fuck,
the guy's he's the GOAT. Like, but I want to be like him. He started very similar to like me. He just did it because he loved it, and people really vibe with him. And he became sober.
Yeah,
so he can admit that he got a bit carried away. And that does sound like me.
Looks like something you want to look up
literally, to. And I think, but like, but he enjoyed the time that I want to enjoy.
Yes, that's
he's
good.
like, I did all that. He just said when he went sober, he was like, I just feel like got to a point where I was like, I've done all that, and I'm like, it's just gonna get worse from here on out. So I'm just gonna get sober, you know. But I've been mostly him, not just him, but a lot of DJs been watching and watching. I watched like an hour and a half documentary on Cole Cox, who's a UK DJ as well.
I think you mentioned that. Yeah.
Yeah, I've been watching watched a whole documentary on him. He's a good friend of Fatboy Slim. I've been watching a lot of Calvin Harris. I've been watching a lot of Avicii, and I just like, you know, stuff like that, you know, and like just studying DJs is very interesting. I'm watching their sets and how they hold themselves up. You know, the one thing I've learned from Fatboy Slim is like the one thing you need to do. He's got a few tips which I'm really taking into account. But the one thing you got to do is just always engage with the crowd. There's nothing worse than a DJ who's like got their head down. Always engage with the crowd. It's like all the big DJs engage with the crowd.
Let them know it's for them.
Yeah.
That's right.
It's not about you and it's like unfortunately it's not about you, you know, it's like, it's not you in the corner just doing this, you know.
Yes, they're experiencing it, but they also want to know that you're putting it on for them. You know, they want to feel a bit of like, shit, yeah, he knows what we want, he knows what we like.
Make a bit of a tick yourself. You probably will be, you know. The way I look at it, I'm like, look, if I'm going to make a bit of an ass of myself up on stage, just doing like shit like this and just like, you know, getting in the crowd going, like, but you know,
no, I love that.
To be engaged with the crowd,
yes,
is the main rule. You know, just have fun. You know,
yes.
And apparently a DJ role is to be 20% drunker
than the rest of the crowd. That's an interesting. Well, and as higher, we know,
just quietly,
we're both able to do that.
So there you go.
Well, you know, I was going to bring this up on Wednesday, but as in regards to the Wednesday night, but you know, last night. Just in terms of how much of an alcoholic we are. I don't want to get into it, but you know, last night I had quite a few drinks. I literally had 8 drinks, 8 of these, 8 casses, which is like 10 standard drinks, and then one drink that was 3.4 standard drinks, and I had a shot of tequila as well. And literally, the party ended, and I was like, "What? Why don't I feel drunk?" You know what I mean? I was like, "Why don't I feel like?" Yeah, I'm not trying to sound like a heavyweight. I'm just saying, literally, I was like, I don't feel like as fucked up as I'm used to. And by as I'm used to, I mean getting fucked up with you, which is when we drink a shit ton.
When you and Mitch are involved, it's not a quiet night.
No, that's right. And so it kind of made me realize, like, oh, okay, actually, I actually can sort of handle this shit. And look, I had a great time, but it's a similar thing, you know. It's like I was definitely, I was like, but I guess what I'm saying is I was 20% drunker in terms of how much I drank, but I was also 20% more able to handle it, if that makes sense.
That rule always scares me.
Do you get what I mean?
Yeah, but that's the thing like that.
Because I think the point of that is not to say that you should be more fucked up. It's that you should have had the same amount of drinks.
What camera was that?
That was the GoPro, but I'll fix that in a minute. You should have had the same amount of drinks, but you shouldn't be as drunk as they are in terms of like as fucked up. Do you know what I mean?
It does scare me though, because I'm like, you know, I don't want to do my first set next week and be like, because I've practiced DJing when I'm drunk, and I'm like, after a while you do start making mistakes, and mistakes while DJing is very, very obvious because it's a very loud speaker system. You can hear the mistakes. It's very obvious. So oh God. Shit. Nope, I think it's 1. Nope, it's 2, 3, 4. That's your camera, not mine.
Yeah, I know.
What happened to my camera?
It just went out.
Oh shit! I thought maybe you did something with it. Okay. But yeah, I just think that like, I don't want to be so drunk that I forget how to DJ, but because it's my first ever gig, and I feel like the first ever gig is so. Like, imagine if I actually make it as a big DJ and I'm like, this is my first ever gig. I did my sister's housewarming, which is such a fat meme, by the way. Of course, my sister is my first gig. But if I actually nail it, I reckon I can go down in history. Thanks, guys. Honestly, thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you, Adam. Thank you. Oh, kids, you're too kind. Thank you. I mean, let's just hope I don't fail. Guys, I got this, all right? I've been working really hard on this, okay? I know. But you know what? I'm going to head out the park just like trying to think of a like Steve Smith does when he plays cricket. What a great episode.
I love it. Sorry, we're back. We're back in action, Looney Tunes, as they say. Last thing we wanted to bring up. Last thing I wanted to bring up.
Yeah, all right, folks.
Thank you, audience. It's okay. It's okay. Now, the last thing we wanted to go, we're just about to go, so don't worry, folks. We'll be done soon. There is this video that is made by, I want to give him credit, Gilbert Gaz Grogan. Wonderful guy. He has a Twitter account. I don't have it up in front of me right now, but I will link to the video and I'll link to his Twitter in the video description. But this video that he made is a video called Simp Wave 2020, and it's a Simpsons like a tribute, you know. And it's just an amazing video. I just thought this was absolutely amazing. I knew that you'd appreciate it as a Simpsons fan. I loved this video. I thought it was beautiful, and I just thought, to close out the show today, I wanted to show you guys this. Thought you guys might appreciate it, and I knew you would appreciate it, Connor. So first and foremost, I want to show it to you because I knew you'd like it. But yeah, let's.
Before you say that, do you want to say about how you reached out to him and said?
Oh, so actually, yes, that's the other thing. So this guy, I did reach out. I did comment on the video. I said, you know, I think this is an amazing video. It's fantastic. It only has, by the way, 1,600 views. So it's very, very underrated. I thought it was amazing. I did reach out to the guy and I said, hey, look, I love this video. I think it's amazing. I want to show it on our podcast because I just love it. I want to give it the most, you know, shout out.
We'll have to show him the link when we...
exactly. I'm going to tweet him the clip for this episode and hopefully he sees it.
Yeah.
I thought it was amazing. But yeah, I just wanted to get your reaction because you're a Simpsons fan. And actually to give a shout out, you have a Simpsons Twitter account at the moment.
Where reviewing every Simpsons ever at Simpsons Everything.
Yeah, so you're doing a Twitter account where you're
Simpsons Every.
Going through every Simpsons episode and reviewing them. You're on season 1 now. You're nearly finished season 1. You'll be on season 2. It'll probably take you months, maybe years to get through the whole show. But I love that. I think that's great.
Every. Sorry, I fucked up the first time.
So so Connor's a huge Simpsons fan, needless to say. But yeah, I thought you would really appreciate this. So without further ado, let's get it in. And we're just going to watch the whole thing, you know.
I'd love to.
Copyright be damned. But yeah, we'll watch the whole thing. I hope you guys can experience it with us. And then, yeah, just give your thoughts afterwards and let me know what you thought.
Unemployed, out of work, sober? You sat around the house all day, but now it's dump time.
Oh, remember, whatever happens, you have a mother, and she's truly proud of you.
Don't forget me.
Don't worry, Homer. You'll always be a part of me.
Sleep with your eyes open, Mom?
Dear family, I am an utter failure, and you'll be better off without me.
Season 1, man. This video I just thought was beautiful.
Wow.
As Homer's mom has bleeding gums.
Classic episodes.
That's got some amazing moments.
Absolute classic episodes.
These episodes are
so solid.
Historic. They go down in history, and they go down in history for a reason.
The live action episode.
Bards people just think our veterans deserve a little recognition. If I'm guilty of anything, maybe it's caring too much. I'm Bart Simpson. I really tried this time. I really tried.
It's got all the moments, all the heartfelt moments.
I'm sorry. Is it just a... I'm sorry. System of impulses. I'm sorry. Or is it something tangible? I don't know why I did it. I don't know why I enjoyed it. And I don't know why I'll do it again.
The sun was shining. Suddenly, that incorrigible Simpson boy darted in front of me.
That's
great.
Please hold on
really
to the
great.
handrail.
obviously, you know, the episodes that it's based on are amazing, but this edit is just absolutely phenomenal.
I'm sorry, Lisa. apology accepted.
The episodes, the moments, just the way it's edited together is absolutely brilliant. And I can't get enough shout outs to the guy who made it.
American. Scourge of the despot. Oh, tyrant, hear his mighty name and quake. Excellent. Oh, Springfield Elementary, I will have you back again. After all, tomorrow is another school day.
It just gives the right tribute to every character and moment.
We are rubber, you are glue.
We just watched
We
this.
are rubber, you are glue.
Oh, yeah, he did. Got
That's
like,
a great shot by General. Reminiscent of
it's a
Indiana
beautiful
Jones.
shot, yeah.
It is a lost ark. Yep. That's great.
What do you think?
That's great.
That's amazing.
Can I just say it clearly as a Simpsons fan?
Oh,
Like a huge.
you can
I know it's
that person has
a pretty soon
love
say, but yeah.
for The Simpsons. I mean, that is just it's just beautiful. I honestly, I saw that and all I thought was I have to show this on the show because it is just an amazing video. It pays tribute to the
Thank you, Gilbert Gaz.
Grogan.
Grogan?
Yes, Gilbert Gaz Grogan. Absolutely amazing.
Thank you, Gilbert Gaz
Terribly
Grogan.
underrated. 870 subscribers. Only 1,600 views. Fucking amazing video. Beautifully edited. Just wonderful. I really thought you'd. I mean, what do you think? Do you appreciate that? You like that?
Yeah, as I'm reviewing every episode, like, you know, I noticed a lot through that.
Stuff
and,
like that. I mean, means a lot, doesn't it? Like,
Yeah, I've got a long way to go.
oh, you
every
do.
Simpsons. Sorry, I messed up before. I think I said Simpsons something. I don't
Yeah,
know.
give it that shout out.
Every Simpsons. By the way, I only started like a month ago. That's why I don't know my app. But it's at every Simpsons.
There you
reviewing
go.
Every Simpsons episode
And
ever.
again, follow this guy, Gilbert Gaz Grogan.
He's great.
Phenomenal
Yeah.
creator. There's a couple other ones. There's like Simpsons quote of the day. There's a bunch of Simpsons pages if you're a fan. you
Oh,
know.
they're brilliant. There's so many great ones.
It's a great community, and I mean, it just shows because there's people making amazing things like this. So frankly, you know, I'm impressed, and I love the show, and I love the people in the community. So
We're here, Dan. I think this is it. Like we're at the
made
end of our
it.
50th.
look at us. We made it. We made it to the end of the 50th.
I guess we should probably say some sentimental shit. Like,
Oh no.
I mean, thank you though, Dan. Honestly, like, so this says alcohol reduces driving ability. You're not drinking driving. No shit.
True.
I want to say thank you to Dan, my co-host, who has honestly made the show what it is, and we're here and we've done the 50th, and it's just amazing. I think that's a great accomplishment. There's a lot of things in life I feel like I should have done better at, but this is just not one of those things. I'm very proud that I've done this. Not many people can say they've done this in life.
No, this is one
We've
I
done
can
a
always
show.
look back on and just. I
Show
just
the
love this
kids,
show.
though,
I love
man.
this show that we have. Yeah, I love that we do it. I love that we've done it. I love doing it. Everything about it. I'm very proud. Like you said, I'm proud. I'm happy. Yeah, I think that having done this is one of the best things we've done. It's one of the best things we continue to do. And yeah, here's to many more.
Imagine little Haley watching this.
God, I hope not.
What a great way to end it. Cheers, mate.
man. Cheers.
Honestly, God bless. See you later, guys.
Thanks, everyone. To another 50, huh?
To another 50.
Yes.